In this presentation, we'll be covering this paper, Consumption of Ultra-Processed Foods and Cancer Risk. For the primary aim, it's to access the prospective association between the consumption of ultra-processed foods and the incidence of overall cancer. The relationship is hypothesized to be driven by factors beyond poor nutritional quality, and this includes neoformed contaminants, controversial food additives, as well as packaging materials. The study design is population-based, a prospective cohort study. The population includes 104,980 participants who are all 18 years or older from the French Nutrinet Santé cohort, and they're enrolled between 2009 and 2017. The dietary assessment is repeated on a 24-hour dietary record, and this includes a minimum of 2 records per participant over the first 2 years of follow-up. The main independent variable in this case is the proportion of ultra-processed foods in the total diet. The NOVA classification system is used in order to classify the foods, and the weight ratio is used to calculate the percentage of grams a day to account for the non-nutritional factors such as additives. And the outcome is the risk of overall cancer. For example, first primary cancer is diagnosed.
Okay, so now we're going to go into results. So here is Table 2, which summarizes the association between ultra-processed food intake and cancer incidence. So as you can see, they split this up into all cancers, and then they further break it down into prostate cancer, colorectal cancer, breast cancer, premenopausal breast cancer, and postmenopausal breast cancer. So we're mainly going to focus on all cancer risk. So each hazard ratio shows how cancer risk changes for every 10% increase in the proportion of ultra-processed foods in the diet, and also compares the highest quarter, Q4, with the lowest, Q1. So again, we're just looking at same table, Table 2. So again, the contiguous hazard ratios, those per 10% increase, tell us the main story. So looking at the first for all cancer in red, so for overall cancer, each 10% rise in ultra-processed food intake increased risk by roughly 12%. So as you can see, the hazard ratio is 1.12. And again, this is clinically significant. The comparison between the highest and lowest quartiles, Q4 versus Q1, showed a 21% higher risk. So again, our hazard ratio is 1.12, 95% confidence interval, with a p-value of 0.002. So again, clinically significant. The linear trend and quartile comparison are both significant. This demonstrates a strong dose-response relationship. So the more ultra-processed foods consumed, the higher the overall cancer risk is. Just briefly going over the rest. So breast cancer showed a similar pattern, especially in postmenopausal women. So again, you can see that in the blue, where the effect was stronger and statistically significant. In contrast, the associations for prostate and colorectal cancers were weak and not statistically significant, suggesting that the link may be cancer type specific. Overall, these associations remain significant even after accounting for total energy intake, physical activity, and diet quality, implying that the characteristics unique to food processing, like additives, packaging chemicals, or substances formed during processing, can help explain the increased cancer risk. Thanks for listening.